Hello, I'm Angel, and this is Healthful Choices. I am on a mission to lose 80 pounds, and today I want to talk about cookies. I work in a nursing home that provides both long and short-term care. There is a dietary staff that provides 3 meals a day for all of the residents. For lunch and dinner, each resident gets a dessert course. Just a few weeks ago, a nurse wrote a letter to the administrator complaining about desserts, saying, and I quote, "A cookie is a snack, not a dessert. How hard is it to bake a cake?" Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think cookies are a snack or a dessert? Why are cookies a snack? She said nothing about the canned fruit that's served as a dessert a couple times a week. Her labeling has really fascinated me. It's also kind of irritated me, and I'm not entirely sure why. And that's why I want to talk about it, because if I talk about it, maybe I can forget about it. So when I think about a snack, it's not really a particular food or a particular food group. It's more about quantity, quickness, and when I eat it. So usually it's a small amount of food, like an apple or something, that I can eat quickly. I usually eat it between meals. So on my food plan now, I have a fruit snack in the morning and a fruit snack in the afternoon. Could a cookie be a snack? I guess so, but for me, for most of my life, before my weight ballooned, it rarely was. And when I think about what a dessert is, again, it's more of a labeling thing. A dessert is a course and a meal, like a 3-course meal, a 12-course meal, 21-course meal. So you would have like an appetizer, your main course, and your dessert. I think that's pretty common here in the States now. Traditionally, it hasn't always been food. Sometimes it's beverages like hot chocolate or coffee or even a dessert wine. But when I was a kid in school, back in my primary school days, at school, dessert was prunes. I still love prunes, but I grew up poor. I mean, really poor, like free lunch and breakfast. So maybe it's kind of a class thing too. As I'm sure you know, for a long time, sugar was very expensive. Before Europeans colonized the Western Hemisphere and used a lot of slave labor for sugar production, it was pretty cost prohibitive. It was about $50 in today's money per pound. But by the 18th century, a sugar cone like this, yes, I am that big of a nerd that I just happen to have a sugar cone in my house. A sugar cone like this in 1776 would have cost roughly $1.60, and it's a half pound. Today we pay about 62 cents a pound for sugar. And as the price of sugar has dropped, consumption has continued to rise. There have been some dips in sugar consumption, such as those seen during the rationing years of the World Wars, but even during the hard years of the Depression, average sugar consumption never returned to levels seen before the turn of the 20th century. And I'm going to blame food manufacturing. In the early 1900s, there were a bunch of foodborne illness outbreaks. Upton Sinclair published his widely popular book, and the American public just was in uproar. It was really bad, and you know it was bad because Congress moved really fast to take action. They passed a couple of laws, Pure Food and Drug Act and the Meat Inspection Act, both passing in 1906. The way that companies responded to these laws is where I think some of the problem lies. Companies began producing more pre-packaged food and using the space on the packaging to do advertising. And some of that advertising was, of course, in words, using words like pure. Purchasing items in bulk, while because of the law would still have been as safe, became seen as sort of old-fashioned and even as unsafe. Then we move into the war years. Food manufacturing kicked into high gear. At the end of the wars, the manufacturers wanted to keep their profits up, so they released the food to the public, putting it on the market so that regular everyday people could buy these convenient processed foods. After each war, variety grew, but the difference between what a soldier was eating and what the vast American population was eating, the population wanted food that actually tasted good. So of course they added more sugar. Okay, so everything has sugar in it and everything is processed. But that doesn't really answer the question, is a cookie a snack or a dessert? It's just kind of me rambling on. So Let's ask Google, because Google knows everything, right? Okay, is a cookie a snack or a dessert? It's both. Okay, well, that's good. So maybe it's a class thing, right? Because I was poor and we didn't have cookie money. Maybe the more money people have, the more likely they are to have things like that for snacks. Okay, so which countries snack the most? Let's ask Google. America is, of course, at the top of the list. So this is interesting. This is a story in USA Today from 2014. How we are snacking as a society is changing. Snacks are increasingly meal replacements. A cookie could never replace a meal, right? Here's what Americans are eating. Chips, chocolate, mainly in the form of candy bars, ranks second, and cheese snacks finish a close third. Okay, 1 out of 3 is a healthy option. That's not too bad, right? But the rest of the world appears to snack a tad healthier than we do. Globally, the top snack, of course, is chocolate. Some 64% of consumers surveyed globally said that they had had chocolate snack within the past 30 days. Fruit ranks a very close second, and vegetables rank third. 2 out of 3 healthy options for the rest of the world, so. I think the nurse grew up with cookie money and had cookies as snacks. Well, at least she didn't bust in anybody's office screaming, "Let them eat cake!" So I hope that talking this out really helps put this issue to rest inside my brain. I don't know, it's very nuanced, right? And sometimes nuanced things don't go away very quickly. I hope that you're having a great day and that you will have a successful week going forward. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Just a few weeks ago, oh, why am I cracking my knuckles? Nobody eats 21 course meals anymore, do they? Armani! Boy, we need to open a window.